Hello everyone, welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. On this Thursday, August 15th, we are officially halfway through the month of August here and entering into late summer. And in today's weather forecast, we're going to be talking about rounds of severe weather across parts of the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and the Ohio Valley and what impacts that will bring to your area. Also, some heat and humidity building across the southern United States. And we're also tracking the tropics with Hurricane Ernesto impacting Bermuda this weekend and moving towards eastern Canada early next week. So a lot to discuss here in the video, so make sure to subscribe to the channel down below for the latest weather information right at your fingertips. We are quickly approaching 100,000 subscribers. You want to help me get there, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below and like the video. Give the video a thumbs up, and it also helps out in a big way as well. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those after the video. So what you're looking at is the GOES satellite imagery across North America and the adjacent Atlantic Ocean. And you can see we do have rounds of some showers and some thunderstorms here with the active jet stream across the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and the Ohio Valley that we'll talk about, and Hurricane Ernesto over here just to the north of the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. That's going to be moving toward Bermuda and eastern Canada over the next couple of days. We'll be tracking that later on in the video. So let's look here into the forecast for today. We do have a ridge of high pressure extending from Southern California all the way across Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, all the way over here as far east as Georgia and Florida. So we're seeing a lot of heat building across the south today. That will continue and actually get a little stronger across Arizona, New Mexico, and West Texas with the center of that ridge of high pressure as we go into tomorrow. So what that means is our temperature streak of the 100-degree highs will continue across the southern plains and the Red River Valley here as we go into the afternoon. So more of the same, 102 degrees Fahrenheit there into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, 104 in Abilene, and 100 from Lubbock all the way down to Midland, Texas this afternoon. And going into early tomorrow morning, this is Friday morning, your low temperatures, and notice we don't get much below 80 degrees down here into Texas or even southern portions of Oklahoma. So a higher springboard of which to start. Temperatures will be right back into the low 100s Friday afternoon on the 16th of August. Back to 103 in Dallas-Fort Worth, 101 in Oklahoma City, 105 in Wichita Falls, 104 in Abilene, and then 101 from Amarillo down into Lubbock, and 100 into the Midland, Texas region Friday afternoon. So make sure to stay hydrated if your job ventures you outdoors over the next few days. Frequent breaks in air conditioning is very helpful as well. So let's look here at the storm reports going back to yesterday on Wednesday, August 14th. And that heat and humidity actually led to some severe thunderstorm development yesterday. A lot of these blue shaded colors, those are wind reports. We had 68 of those. We had a few hail reports, though we had 6. And then one tornado reported in northeastern Kansas on the ground yesterday for several minutes. So that was something that we were watching as well. More storm energy. Your convective available potential energy will be there for today. You can see the purples there, over 3,000 joules per kilogram of instability up there into the Midwest and entering into the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. And that will continue to shift eastward toward the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley region as we go into Friday, August 16th with a cold front as we enter into late week. So here as we go through the day one outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, there is a level 2 out of 5, slight risk of severe weather in the yellow into portions there of western Indiana, much of the state of Illinois, southern and southeastern Iowa, the entire state pretty much there of Missouri, eastern Kansas, and extending back toward northeastern and central Oklahoma. And the biggest potential for tornadoes today is a 2% chance within a 25-mile point of Milwaukee, Chicago, into the Springfield, Illinois region, St. Louis, back toward Des Moines and Kansas City. And also as far south as Paducah, Kentucky, as we go through the rest of the day. Damaging winds and large hail, though, will be the primary focus of the severe storms for today. So let's walk you through this afternoon. We have some drizzle, some showers, rumbles of thunder moving through the upper Midwest into the Lake Michigan vicinity here and the western Ohio Valley. This is going to be bringing in some warm, moist, and unstable air. And then as we see a cold front start to dive southeastward into this region here this evening and overnight, scattered supercells will be possible across the upper and middle Mississippi Valley. This would be the storms that could pose those damaging wind, large hail, and isolated tornado risk, and this will actually cluster up into some storms in northern and central Illinois as we go into early Friday morning after midnight. So places like Rockford, Peoria, Chicago, even as far south as Springfield, Illinois, may have to watch out for some bigger storms clustering up early Friday morning. Then as we go into Friday, that cold front will shift east. We have a slight risk upgrade for southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma. That's level 2 out of 5. And then a level 1 out of 5 in the dark green here, broad brushed from the southern Great Lakes region in the Ohio Valley down into parts of the southeast Tennessee Valley vicinity, and then stretching back there into the plains. That's where that cold front will be. The tornado threat, thankfully for now, is less than 2% as we go into tomorrow. So the main risk will be, again, damaging winds and some large hail. Walking you through this here on Friday morning, isolated storm coverage here to start the day. That will continue through the afternoon. Maybe some storms clustering up there in Wisconsin, taking a run at Green Bay, at portions there of the Milwaukee region, Madison, Wisconsin, Friday afternoon. Those storms will shift across Lake Michigan into western lower Michigan, so Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, and Lansing may have to be watching out for that Friday evening. Some of those storms down into places like northwestern Indiana, and then more additional development back there in the plains and the Tennessee Valley into early Saturday morning. That could spark some severe weather as well. Overall, additional rainfall totals in inches through your Saturday, August 17th timeframe. This is on top of what we've already seen to this point so far. And we could be adding up another inch or 2, maybe 3 inches at most in some of these areas like Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, over here to the Ohio Valley, including Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, eastern and middle Tennessee, and then up here into Michigan as well. And some of that could trickle over into West Virginia through your Saturday time frame. Going into the weekend, though, looking at the weather pattern here across portions of North America, you can see a big trough here, upper level low across the Pacific Northwest. We have that big ridge bringing more heat and humidity across the Rockies and the southern plains in the middle, and then that trough with the cold front across the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and eastern U.S. as we go into the weekend. So what that will do with our temperatures is bring them cooler than normal across the west, especially for Oregon, the Sacramento Valley down there into California and Nevada. Very much above average across the southern United States here. Again, the Red River Valley, North Texas, southern Oklahoma are going to be scorching hot for the weekend, and then slightly leaning below normal with our temperatures across the Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and just the eastern U.S. in general as we go into the weekend. Precipitation prospects for Saturday, low pressure system over central lower Michigan and may bring some unsettled showers and storms across the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley, parts of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast as we go into the weekend. And then that low will slowly move toward the Toronto region and into southeastern portions of Ontario into Quebec as we go into Sunday. Again, bringing unsettled weather. Plenty of dry hours are promised in between, but there definitely will be some showers and storms that we may have to dodge out here. So if you have any outdoor events, make sure to bring an umbrella. Have a radar app handy here to track those showers and storms. Here are the overall rainfall amounts this weekend, Saturday, August 17th into Sunday, August 18th. Noticing here a pretty scattered coverage you can see from the northeast down here into the southeast and the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley. The heaviest of the rains will actually be in Canada, into southern Quebec and southern and southeastern portions of Ontario. Those areas like Montreal back there toward Toronto could be seeing over an inch of rain this weekend. Going into next week now, extending into the long range for Monday, August 19th through Friday, August 23rd into the third week of the month. That ridge is going to flex its muscles across the Great Plains and the Rockies as we go into next week. Still got that upper level trough or low pressure across the Pacific Northwest, keeping areas like Seattle, Portland, down there into Northern California cool, and then that trough across the Mid-Atlantic and Eastern U.S. as well. And you can see exactly what that'll do with our temperatures on Monday. We have a cold front, actually, that will be swinging down across the Great Lakes into the Ohio Valley next week. And what that's going to do is actually provide a very refreshing and less humid air mass across the Midwest into the Ohio Valley in the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, and even parts of the Southeast by the middle of the week, whereas the heat will be building across the Rockies by Wednesday. And then as we go into later next week here, about a week or so from today, by Friday, August 23rd, that heat out west will start to expand a little bit further east, and our temperatures out east that are cooler than normal earlier in the week will start to moderate back toward normal as we go in toward next Friday, August 23rd. Precipitation amounts for next week between Monday, August 19th and Friday, August 23rd. Some precipitation across the northern central plains and the Rockies here. Pretty active storm track across southern Canada here, across portions of British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and western Ontario, and more so into northern portions of Quebec as well. Otherwise, some active weather across the east. Florida may be pretty wet as we go into next week, especially for Orlando on southward toward Tampa Bay. Daytona Beach into the Naples area, the Fort Myers area, and also Miami, the Key West areas as well. Could be getting pretty wet, couple inches of rain next week as we go through that time frame. Tropical weather update here. We are tracking Hurricane Ernesto in the western tropical Atlantic. This is actually just to the north of the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, and this system actually knocked out power at a part of the island of Puerto Rico just 24 hours ago or so. And here's the wind history for Ernesto as well. In the orange, those are your tropical storm force winds, and notice the central and eastern part of Puerto Rico took that tropical storm force winds. That's probably the part of the island that has less power right now, is the eastern side of the island. And then those hurricane force winds just to the north and west of Puerto Rico over the open waters and just north of the Dominican Republic. Here's the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida. This is a 85 mile per hour hurricane right now, moving north at 14 miles per hour. There are already hurricane warnings up for the island of Bermuda, so that means a hurricane is imminent here over the next couple of days. It will remain a hurricane all the way through early next week on Monday at 8 a.m. here just to the south and east of Nova Scotia there in Canada, and then a tropical storm here still on Tuesdays. It picks up speed as a trough kind of shunts this further off to the east toward Greenland as we go in towards the early to middle portion of next week, that Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. This system is moving into an environment that is more favorable for strengthening, as it is an environment that is warm with sea surface temperature anomalies here. So strengthening from a Cat 1 where it's at now to a Category 2, possibly a Category 3 hurricane is on the table as it enters in toward the Bermuda Island there, and then as it moves north of Bermuda. So let's track this here. 960 millibar low today. This is going to strengthen to a 959 as it approaches the southern part of the island there of Bermuda as we go into tomorrow on Friday, August 16th. Then it's going to shift to the north here across Bermuda as we go into Saturday. Sunday is getting a little bit closer there toward portions of Nova Scotia, but still well to the south. And then as we go into Monday, that trough coming off of the eastern United States will have enough of an influence to pick up the speed of this system, and it's also going to weaken it a little bit. But areas of interest, Nova Scotia, eastern Canada, definitely need to watch for, at very least, the wave heights with this system could be very significant with rip currents and stuff like that, rough surf, beach erosion, and flooding. So we'll be watching out with that. And maybe some of that tropical storm force wind field getting very close to eastern Canada by Monday, August 19th, early next week. The hurricane season is just getting started, folks. We have a long season ahead. We have the rest of August, September, October, and even November, even early December could have some systems here this season. And you can see as we go into the last week there into August, that main development region, as tropical waves come off of Africa into the main development region, may take a run at the Windward Islands. And then the same thing could be true, especially as we go into the first few days of September through the 3rd of September. Very likely chances the main development region will light up with tropical activity. So if you want the latest weather information right at your fingertips, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. We're always here for you. Helps out to get to 100,000 subscribers. I definitely appreciate it. Like the video, give it a thumbs up down below. If you did enjoy today's weather forecast, we'll have more of these here in the future. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those later on here after the video, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Thursday out there.